everybody, I apologise for the loss of connection there. That's on me.
Green light. Go, go, go.
We do have green lights there. Just going to cover it whilst Greg does sort himself out there. But Jazzman, great start there. Going to cover himself off. Nicely done. P2, P3 stays where they are. So we can quickly just return to garage so I can also get a better camera of some of the action just behind. So Grace still there, just about behind Eden. A bit of side by side with Derrick and Naisbit now. And the Aston Martin of Cortegini also getting involved in this. So they're going to go 3 wide into the inner loop. I don't know where to look.
So I am back. So yeah, Vermeulen managing to get away well. Apologise everybody for the technical difficulties. So as Vermeulen pulls away, catching Shelley close in the back of Cortegini. We have 135 off in the background.
And 985. DeWilt and Felix.
As they still got a long way around, no escape road accessible to him there. As we have side by side. Sorry, the timing screen is still updating itself.
That is Sharp, I believe, who's been spun round. And 160. Who are those two drivers?
As I see, G Brown taking one, heading to the inside to try and take another as he follows the Mustang of Grafe through. Grafe looking very interested in the back of Cortegini as well. A few more cars side by side. We have a car wide and off at heel. But now Grafe on the inside of Cortegini into the second to last turn has got through. Well done him.
Just further behind we do have a good old battle. Filomeno, Cooters, Townsend and Colpitts. The battle for P20 there and P19. It's also got Cablo in the Bentley joining us. Down into turn 1.
So we've got Filomeno on the outside. The Ferrari Cooters has dived on the inside. It's a great move, but he has gone on the curbing. That's lost in a bit of speed. This is going to get really spicy as they go up the S's. Filomeno in the BMW did just twitch a little bit himself. And then just behind that, we have Colpitts, who's found a lot of speed on the back of Townsend. Townsend is drifting wide, and even further back from that. Oh, we've got the two barges coming through, and then we've got the Bentley of Cablo showing a lot of interest. He's going to show his nose to the outside of Colpitts, but not anything doing just there.
Oh, who is
we've got a car in the background. That is Prentice.
Prentice on the grass there.
Oh, he's going to have to wait a while. That's very unfortunate.
Oh, there's another McLaren. Who was that just in front of
Sorry,
him?
Retro, we've gone forward to the battle for P13 with the Aston Martin all over the back of the Ferrari. But then the Aston Martin has spun, and that's multiple cars coming together. The Aston Martin has righted itself, but that is a lot of cars in the background. Oh, so we have another McLaren absolutely totaled in the barrier. Who was that? So it was Cortegini who was the first one to go, but then another there was a McLaren was also caught up in that. So I'll pick up who that was.
That was car 18, Chamakovs. The great
disaster for him.
McLaren.
Oh, we have more cars backwards. That's Colpitts, multiple BMWs, and then Aston. Absolute chaos happening behind. Now cars having to scythe through. Oh, was a Ferrari's now tagged the front of the BMW and rolls back across the track. Absolute carnage this evening. Further ahead, where it's a bit more calm, Richings chases down Heymans. And ahead of them, that's one of the Ferraris of Gabino, who should be in a Lamborghini, struggling to get on the power. Behind him, Richings has found the right car. Heymans trying to make a move on the NSX of Brown, coming into the inner loop. Brown has gone a little bit deep, but can he cut it back to get over the curb? Yes, he can. Now Heymans is at risk of getting caught by Richings. Richings backs out on the inside move, but it opens up again. And now tucks back in for a more sensible opportunity to arise. And Heyman's still trying to push on with G Brown. And I've also picked up Derrick, who's chasing down Naisbit. This is where he started at the beginning, as we could just catch Grace having a little bit of time on the grass. That will not help you break for turn 8.
A lot of drivers in the pits there, buddy.
Yeah, a lot of carnage on those opening few laps. Potentially visibility. As we've got great moves going on behind there. That's Cooters trying to go around Van der Waal. Van der Waal running him out wide. Van der Waal gets a bit twitchy, then gets on the curb. This allows Cooters back up his inside. It's where you want to be for the penultimate turn. But Van der Waal has found some speed on the outside, but can get the car recontrolled. No, he can't.
Ooh, he's going to cut across him.
Can he keep it out the wall here? He can't. Oh no, he does tap it, but that's cost him. Now Townsend's going to come through as well. He's not got it done yet though. As of an Aston Martin behind as well, trying to make a move on Cablo.
So just slightly in front.
That is Clayton. Clayton does have that one done. Another Aston Martin comes through as well.
G Brown going through the S's down to the straight. Can the Ferrari really close on the Honda down the straight, or is G Brown going to absolutely open the clackers here and get the power down? I think he does.
Oh, as we go back to Townsend, he's got an Aston Martin on his inside. He's got Van der Waal ahead of him. Aston Martin's going very, very tight into that corner. He does manage to get it stopped and slowed. Oh, as we watch Van der Waal drift around the second part of the S's, he rejoins. The Aston Martin seems to come in.
Just behind there, we've got Cablo and the Bentley and Harvey as well, giving a good old battle whilst they had that in front of them.
Oh, the green Aston Martin's going a bit drifting on the grass.
He's got a bit deep as well. That does let Van der Waal back through.
But the Aston Martin sends it to the inside. Oh, he just managed to keep his nose out. That sends Van der Waal wide in reaction. Now the Aston Martin pushes off and gets away. The Aston Martin a bit further back. This is Harvey. Dives on the inside of one. Does he think he can get two? No. Sensible move.
Sorry, buddy. We've got G Brown who's made a mistake. Oh, Heyman's what happened there.
We just saw Van der Waal absolutely lose it into the wall. He went after Larry again.
But no, I just flicked through the pack there and I saw Heyman's and Richings going at it. And G Brown, I think, must have made a mistake there because he's dropped behind both of them now. I think he's just reinstated back to where he should be.
As we go back to Townsend, who's eyeing up a move on Clayton just ahead of him. And Cablo has not let Harvey go either. So now the drivers, after nearly half the race has passed, only just starting to settle in. As you saw in the beginning with a lot of drivers.
Friend Jabino in the Ferrari gets a good move on Jay Sharp there on the inside of the outer loop. Gets a great drive out. Good bit of pockets of racing, no matter where we look. Trying to keep all eyes on the cards.
So we've got Nishelli, who's forced Grace into a bit of a defensive line there, but I think Grace has this one covered just for the moment. Nishelli not shy to still go deep on the brakes to stay in touch with Grace. Looks to open up the outside. Will he get a cut back here on Grace? Grace using all the track available to him. He won't be taken for a fool. Yeah, still massively committing to his lines, keeping the speed up, and this is pushing Nishelli back into Grace. But I think Grace just took a bit of a tag of the wall there, has to go ultra defensive, finds his speed, rejoins back to the line. We've just gone to Handley. He's having a look down the inside of Brown. Heyman's had a little look there too. Didn't have to deviate his line too much, but definitely had a look. And he might have had a better look now. He's got a much better exit than Handley. Out of the first turn, power down. Handley trying to find some grip as he comes up the S's.
A bit of a mistake from Grace there. He's dropped right down the order.
So Heymans comes out of the slipstream, goes to the outside of Handley. Can he edge it on the brakes? Turns in ahead of Handley. Great move, great bravery in the wet. It's not an easy move to make.
Well, I think Grace is really struggling with his car now. He was so right up there, but he's now P12.
Naisbit has managed to drop Derrick and is trying to go after Eden up ahead. Maybe he can make the McLaren work in the Ford's backyard. Oh, as I go on board with Cooters in the Ferrari, trying to defend from the Aston Martin of Clayton, who comes up towards turn 9. Shows it round the outside. If he can use all the track, he might get some good traction here. Comes back out. It's a bit of a bang of a door. Aston Martin goes down the inside, carries the speed into the corner. That's great defence. As we see Handley ahead, going a little bit offline. So Kutus has lost out to Clayton there. We've got Cablo in P20 going in search of the wet stuff. As it's hard to move. I think the track is slightly drying up, even though the rain is still coming down. We're definitely moving into reduced rain phase. Richings trying to disrupt the battle for the Amwin from the silver tier. Oh, as it is disrupted, Sharp into the wall, and is now going to have Jabino all over him. So we're just waiting for this to sort itself up on the timing screens. Jabino is ahead. Now Sharp has got Richings. Oh, as now Sharp has been tapped by the BMW. Can he hold it? He just stops it from sliding into Brown.
Yeah, the BMW is Grace there, buddy.
Grace, yeah.
So, timing board error there, but say it was the BMW of Grace there. Got both Ferraris, Heymans and
Oh,
Charlotte.
that's Grace going again. Grace is really struggling.
Great driving from Handley behind there to avoid hitting him.
And then Clayton has
Props
taken
to
him.
Handley.
And he's going to try and power out around turn 9 and see if he can get another move through this section. He chooses the outside line this time as he comes through. The two BMWs behind.
Oh, sorry, buddy. Eden in P4 has made a mistake on the exit of turn 1. He's facing backwards on track.
Absolutely totaled. Oh, has he been hit again? Absolutely totaled.
Is he?
He's going.
He is slowly going now.
Oh, that's not a great place to be parked. As he returns to the pits, that's just a shame. We've got Clayton and Sharp, the battle for P13. Clayton up on the inside, he's gone quite deep. He's going to get two cars now. There's the Ferrari ahead. I think that's Jabino. Absolutely.
Jabino was the one that hit Eden, I believe. Looking at his steering, he's all over the place.
So the battle for the AM tier win in absolute tatters. As further ahead, we have a Porsche going all over the shot. I think that's a lapped car though. So But Heyman's on Brown. Will Heyman's attempt to move inside here? Brown gives him a wide berth, but then cuts in on the corner. And Sharp has now been corrected to the leader for the Amtir now.
He does have his rival Hanley half a second behind him.
Just picked up Gedman in a Porsche, chasing in a trio of Porsches in the middle of the pack.
Big on the brakes there. Korkmalakis just behind him.
His drivers aren't leaving much of the chance, are they? There's not much adjusted braking points.
Well, unfortunately not. When the wet stuff comes, mate, it does add a certain level of spice.
I think
Trevino's just going to limp this one back to the pits, which is fair enough. So he does get out of the way of the Porsches, but nonetheless, our man out in front is currently 9.3 seconds in the lead.
So just picks up this battle for P9 again. Brown under pressure from Heymans, who's looking rather feisty and definitely packing some speed in that Ferrari. As he enter the S's, Brown looking a bit more confident on the turn-in, but with that extra power the Aston Martin has. Clayton with a brilliant drive through the field this evening. This could be a three-way battle as we come out of the final turn, as I think they'll stick in formation for most of this sector. I think Haynes a bit too far back. Move here. Clayton wiggles to the outside, squirming under braking. Brown puts himself a little bit of distance, but just behind him. And another Aston Martin in green. It's Harvey who's eyeing up Handley. Into turn 9 they go as they touch doors going around there. Now side by side, coming to turn 9. Handley pushing him through the corner. How neither car has spanned is beyond me, but Harvey has got that one done nice and early. So Brown coming up on a bit of lapping traffic from what I can tell. Nicely let through. Now Clayton has already overtaken the Ferrari of Heymans. That battle dropping back has allowed him to find a gap to slot into. But now he can just go after Brown with a bit of breathing room. You can see his braking for a few more corners. And Hanley has left Couters a bit further behind now. It's good for his prospects. Korkmalakis seems to have made a bit of a mistake following Gedman. He has dropped back that little bit. And just picked up Luke Prentice, who's chasing down Gedman as well. Gedman just seems to be bleeding a few positions there. Once again going rallying off on the grass. Down the chute.
So we do have from race control, leader is on final lap there, folks. Is commanding lead, 11.4 seconds gap to P2 there.
So can Clayton top this drive with a move on Brown on the final lap? This has been quite something to keep revisiting from Clayton. He's put on an absolute wet weather masterclass this evening as we see cars going off in the background. Clayton has kept his car clean and kept his moves definitive. Will they be moved down into turn 1? Will the brakes allow it? Brown turns in but gives him the space. Keeps off the curb, keeps him tight to the inside. And Heymans is going to try and sign himself into this one as well. But with the dry part of the track on the inside, looks like Clayton's got this one done. But now Heyman's on the inside of Brown is also finding a lot of speed, and that has pushed Brown back down. Vermeulen doesn't have too many corners left. We will go to him. And Brown has to defend just from one more Ferrari. But we will go on board with Vermeulen. He has led this one from the very start. I'm sorry we didn't catch the start. That was a technical glitch from my end. But there is no denying this man's prowess, whether I've got into the net or not. He comes home for a very, very comfortable race 1 win of round 4.
The leader has finished the race.
And Vazzoli, right, very controlled race as well. Does gap behind the front 3, giving each other a lot of room. Melotti coming around as well. Naismith we catch, giving the wall a whack on his way through. Derrick with a great race as well, a great win for the silver tier. Michelle is going to lead Grace over the line. Rick Ching's done a great job as he drifts around the final corner. That's a P2 for the silver tier, well done. And Clayton, as I said, probably driver of the day for race 1. Great charge to the field to finish in P9. Then Heyman's, then Brown, who held off a lot of these drivers for a very long time. And Harvey, Sharp, and Hanley, who's going to give us a display of a flying car.
I think as he was about to do that, I think he did hit another car in the process of that. That is a deemable, reportable offence there, Mr.
As
Hanley.
Kokomalakis chases the Porsche of Thacker to the line, followed by Gedman. We've got Van Vlotten over the line as well. As you've got multiple lap cars now coming in.
And we do have Mr. Jazzman throwing the dab emoji in the stream. What a guy. For all you guys at home, Mr. Jazzman himself did the fastest lap with a 1:51.6. This guy is an absolute animal. Come rain or shine, he is there smashing it out the park. But guys, that is race 1 finished. Do not go anywhere. We are now going to do a proper 20-minute qualifying to set the grid for race 2. So there won't be no one-shot qualifying nonsense. It's going to be a 20-minute qualifying. See, that's why it's no nonsense.
This is why we get the corrections in. Fact check, fact check.
Checking.
Checking. It's on your screen to the right. 15.
Stay out. Wait. In.
So, speaking of what's going in, the clouds look like they're going to go in as we enter qualifying. The track is currently wet, but based on the weather radar, it is going to go dry. We're just waiting for the server to set that session up for you. But no, what an enthralling race 1. Lots of overtakes, lots of carnage. Watkins Glen, which isn't usually incident filled, has thrown up quite a few this evening. And Van der Voort was showing his side of violence once again. This time he's not jumped out of his car, he's gone full on Iron Man in his iron suit in his car, and he's tried to mount the barrier to go after Larry.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you could have said he went full Roman Grosjean and just went through the barrier, but, you know.
Yeah. I wasn't on fire like that, you see.
Ah, so you couldn't handle the heat in the kitchen, eh?
No, not even a little bit.
But it does give you some interesting pointers to where not crash and do crash for your 100-minute race special for Taco Tuesday.
Oof, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a rough one. And if for those who aren't familiar with the format for the Taco Tuesdays, the pit window is 10 minutes from the start and 10 minutes from the end. So you're incentivized not to send it in the first few laps, but instead build your race in. So I'm hoping that I don't have to pit more than my mandatory couple of stops to get the race done. And he's also hoping that I spend no longer than the mandated 30 seconds in the pits.
Give it all you can.
As qualifying is going to be underway. Whilst we're going to wait for the drivers to just run through their outlap, probably going to be a little while before they even come out, to be honest, because they're going to be readjusting their setups now for the dry stuff. As I do see a Mustang wandering out the pits.
Be interesting to see though, buddy. If you do look in that top corner, it does look like the wet stuff may come back.
Yeah, it does. 30 minutes in. Oh, is that same day? It is. So there's every chance that we're going to have a dry qualifying and a wet race. We're hoping that there's less shenanigans in this qualifying than there was in the previous one. Those the drivers are putting that a little bit harder to try and beat the next run of drivers coming out of the pits. But yeah, whilst this outlap is undergoing, let's try and introduce you to the world of FRL. We are a fantastic league. We offer pretty much everything that you can think of in regards to sim racing, whether that be iRacing, Assetto Corsa Competizione like you have here, Formula 1, WRC, GT7, you name it. If it's got 4 wheels, you can race it online. FRL is the place to be. We run almost every single night of the week in well-filled grids with a lot of commentary spread amongst them. And yeah, get involved. If what you've seen so far tonight whets your appetite, do drop a comment in the stream, and an admin will reach out to you with a Discord link or even a SimGrid link, depending on what your flavour is. And if you're already part of the FRL community, well done, congratulations, you're here, enjoying it all. You can enjoy even more. We have a Patreon that you can join for as little as £3 a month to get lots of little special little treats, including access to your own specialist Patreon server, early access for special events and leagues. You can reserve your own driving number ahead of everybody else, amongst a whole load of perks, and a whole load of perks that us, the working members of FRL, us commentators, we don't get. You'd be even special than us. You can join tomorrow, join the Patreon, and be more valued than us. So let that sink in. You are special if you sign up to the Patreon. Not just to us, but to everybody in the community as well, because it keeps the lights on. But as we pick up, Mr. Grafe, Samuel Grafe, mid-lap. He's coming in down the chute now. He's got a bit of traffic ahead of him, and he's going to try and spot his braking. He hugs this turn. Why do we ever think that a Ford will want to keep a hold of that curb? The big boat drifts a little bit wide, but he's going to come into the toe now. He pivots it round this sharp, ultimately long, enduring hairpin, and then back up the hill underneath the sole of the boot, and comes towards the heel. And downhill, it's quite tricky this, because you can't see how far the outside curbing is if you want to fully commit, which he does on a first attempt. Well done to him. And then an uphill tight hairpin off turn 9, and he powers through here. He's going to carry a lot more speed through here than he has done in his wet lap. He kisses the curb on the outside. Now, you can afford to give this wall a little bit of a kiss, but he gives it plenty of margin the first time out. Uses the distance slipstream ahead of the Ferrari and starts us off with a 1:45.0. And then quickly followed by Clayton, who's 1.1 seconds down, and then Travaglia early sits in P2. We've got car 71, who we definitely know is on a lap. This is Van der Waal. He's put down his domestic violence relationship with Larry the marshal, and he's going to try and put his demons to rest with stonking hot lap. But he does have a bit of traffic ahead of him, so maybe this will reignite his fury. Hopefully it can all dissipate by the time he crosses the checkered line. He gets very committed over the outside curb. On the exit at turn 9. Oh, taps the wall and a bit. He goes, Larry, this is what you're in for. As he goes P7.
We do have Jazzman coming to the checkered line. Yeah, there he is, 44.4 with a bit of a toe from Heyman's in front there.
It's absolutely filthy. We've got Clayton coming around for another one, but we've got others coming. We've got car 18. That's Chumakovs, who had a torrid time last time out. He's going to get set a lap this time. And, wow, jumps himself up to P7. Leads the AM tier as it currently stands. Car 7.
Samuel Grave, currently in P2, coming to the line. Nishelli there, P2. Can Grave improve? No, he can't. Car 500, Clayton in P10. Stays P10. Travaglioli overtakes Jazzman. Knocks him off his perch.
Just picked up Felix, who's currently 4 seconds down. He's in the silver tier. Powers out with his bright green BMW. Can he improve? He does. Goes to P23.
I believe Jazzman's stuck in a bit of traffic there.
Picked up Townsend, who had a good showing this time out, made a lot of good overtakes. He comes through the final corner, kissing inside curbing, gives the wall a lot of breathing room, and goes all the way up to P16. Great improvement. Car 33. That's Jay Sharp. Quite a lot of the cars not going too close to the wall, Retro. I wonder if that's actually faster as Jay Sharp goes P11, so maybe it is.
Oh, maybe. There's method in the madness there, buddy, but say Jazzman does now have open bit of track. There is no Ferrari in front of him, but he does have his pro tier rival Malotti, so one name not to be reckoned with, currently in P7, but I think he was stuck in a bit of traffic. But Travaglioli is on a 144.2, so Jazzman needs a good 10th or more to take the fight to Travaglioli.
So the man who turns up every single week to give us a lesson in car craft. Let's follow him around. So slow in, fast out, uses a reasonable amount of curb as he goes through turn 6 into the boot. Now around the toe, he takes a big wide line out of the toe, and it throws because that's mighty speed as he goes up the hill. Now carries good amount of speed mid corner. Chooses only to use the curbing deep into the corner on the exit. Now all looking just controlled here. That's the key. Nothing dramatic. Pulling his car left all the time, not using too much of the outside curbing. Once again, finding the wall, but only very, very late. And will this be an improvement? Would it put him back P1? Yes, it does.
43.6 from
so there you have, as you have, everybody. Just a super clean lap, nothing dramatic. Dare say, I mean, it doesn't. It sounds ironic to say, but it doesn't even look impressive. It's just incredibly controlled and consistent, and it's something we should all strive for. Coming towards 713. Who are you?
Karuna in the McLaren.
Look, he's parked up.
Shelley, is he going to improve? Not quite. Next grey dot I can see is 985. Which is Felix down in P32 there.
So he's managed to find a little gap in the traffic, which is great for him. So this is where he roundabout improved from last time. So is there anything more he can offer? Does have a distant toe. Maybe that will serve him towards the line. Can he jump Malakis? No. Does improve though by about 0.3. Car number 9. This is Townsend. Almost takes a bit of the grass with him as he goes around that last corner. He gets a distant toe as well. The cars all seem to be in much better space this time around. Townsend jumps up to P22. Car number 33. We've been with before. This is Sharp. Very controlled. Currently sat in the middle of the pack in P20. No improvement for him. Car 215. Where are you, Serpentine?
In P19 there, buddy.
So he
does
runs
need
the time then.
5 thousandths of a second to jump handily for P18.
Just needs to drop a few grains of rice out of his car and have that done, and he does. Car 18, that's Chumakov's, who's a fair bit off the tier lead at the moment. Jabino is fairly far ahead of him. He's got 2 attempts to find. Can he do it? He does! Finds 3. So he goes P10 ahead of his rival Jabino, and then Malotti slots in there as well. It's Malotti who we expect to be doing a little bit better at this point. I wonder what's going on with him. Then we've got Rick in P3 at the moment. We didn't see it happen, but that's great news for the silver tier driver. Oh, as we watch a Ferrari fly off in the background. That's Karuna, I think. So we're still bored Malotti because, like I said, we do expect big things out of him. He's been a regular challenger to Vermeulen, but he does look like he's going to pick up a bit of traffic here. I believe that is Coco Malakis that's just let him by. It is. So Brown, seen him come in.
Vermeulen has gone even quicker there, buddy. He's into the 43.2.
Oof.
I think he lost a little bit of time in his last couple of corners there, but great to see. Good driving from him.
I'm not quite sure what the commentating equivalent of seasickness is, but that's what I feel when I look at that time. It makes me uneasy.
He's jumped back to the pits. He's going straight back out again just for safety measures.
Serpentine's just crossed the line. He's still in P21. Car number 4. This is Harvey.
Harvey, car number 4 in P4.
Whoa, that's a
Good
great
lap from him.
Great lap from him. I mean, he was lingering outside the top 10 in the last race, so yeah, well done to him to put himself in a real fighting chance. Let's see. Car number 14. Whichever I find first.
Is Grace in P7. He's got a tow from the car in front, a Ferrari of 133.
And
Grace
goes P3.
P3.
So
Got car 884.
That's Eden. Comes off the line in the Mustang. No improvement from him, but all the same, this silver tier pole in P4 is a great showing.
Gedman now closest to the line with Ferrari and Q Robert getting a bit of a tow. Q Robert up to P18 there.
Let's see, 494 coming around.
Yeah, 334 is Kalugin, I believe it is. P27 at the minute. He needs a little bit of improvement to jump his rival, which he doesn't get.
Serpentine towards the line as well. He's not going to quite get the advantage of that toe, and I think he's bailed on that lap.
Heyman's just behind.
And then picked up
He's in
picked
P8.
up Grafe coming around the final bend, but he's practicing his pit entries. Look like a good stop. 2-4-2.
2. Mr. Naisbitt come around the final corner. Can he get a leg before wicket for P14? Stays P14. 679 is J Prentice there, stays P30. Car 133, which I believe is Mr. Sharp.
Travaglioli coming towards the line as well. Can he get any closer than Vermeulen? Yes, he can. Very close indeed, but still not quite close enough. And that'll be... Has he crossed the line in time? Can he get one more effort in?
Yes, he has.
And I've
He
just
hasn't
picked...
got the checker flag signed just yet, buddy.
And Vermeulen is still going as well. So Vermeulen is still out there, guys. So with Travaglioli, with the incentive of getting closer, can Vermeulen put even more daylight there to try and say, no, this pole position is mine. I want to double dip in this weekend with multiple poles. He's got nothing but a car very far ahead of him.
No, he's bailed out. Got into the pits.
So he goes as has Travaglioli. So the fight for pole is over. Brown into P12 and he's finished his lap. Car 94. That's Colpitts. Taking a lot of the inside curb in turn 9. Turn 10 even, sorry. He's currently P31. That beam was worth a hell of a lot more than P31. Can he improve? He does. P26.
Bails out. Jabino behind all over the wall there. We do have an Aston Martin behind Jabino. P15. Aston Martin of, I believe... Who was that? J Prentice jumps Clayton in the other Aston Martin there.
So, to run you through the order, a top a 2-row lockout for the Pro Tier. Vermeulen leaves Travaglioli, who put up a good fight towards the end there. Grace and Malotti, quite a bit far back in terms of the times, but they'll be right there for turn 1. Eden with a silver tier pole in P5 with Harvey splitting. As we just started to see the spits of rain as qualifying has come to an end, Retro.
Wow. It's all to play for now, buddy. Setups are going to struggle once again for not only a 20-minute race, but a 40-minute race this time.
And it's already showing that while the rain is here now, that there is dry spells at the end. I will continue on with the order. So that's DeRick in a P2 for silver, Heymans with a P3 for silver in 7 and 8 respectively. And we have Karuna and Shelley, Grafe and Brown in the Pro Tier to P12. Van Vlotten in P13, and then 1, 2, 3 for Chumakovs, Jabino and Hanley in the AM tier, followed by Naisbitt, Cooters, Van der Waal, Prentice and Clayton to P21. Hugh Robert, Richings, Filomeno, Serfontaine, Townsend, Colpitts, Sharp, Kalugin, Cortegani round up the top 30. Then we have Kukumlakis, Cablo, Gedman, Visser, Thacker, Felix, Coppens, DeVilt, Dreadlock Steve, your drivers that did set a lap, and then you've got Sharp and Prentice who are electing to start from the back of the grid through not setting a time. So, a lot more honesty of the times coming out there, Owen, in that the drivers actually got to set them. They didn't get that courtesy. As if anybody who's just set a wet setup on is going to have to change it quickly, as the weather is changing all the time. It's looking like sunny skies now for 30 minutes with a bit of cloud cover. But
It's
this weather's
going to be a bit of spice, buddy. But like you say, there wasn't no double bus stop chicane in the final couple of corners, so the drivers that unfortunately lost out due to not setting a lap due to the absolute traffic is now going to be able to take a absolute blast of this hopefully dry race 2. So 40 minutes sprint, no pit requirement, absolute adrenaline fest of 40 minutes, no pit requirements. Obviously, if you do face the barrier that wasn't inspected by Gedman or G Brown, do take all your comments and queries to them. But other than that, if you do keep it on the tarmac, fantastic. But say it's been an absolute thriller for 40 minutes.
And this time we're going to have it covered on the stream for the start.
Well, I mean, I was the one that was threatened to have internet issues, and you seem to have done it more.
I mean, you never know where these things are going to go. I'm going to blame Richard Branson because he's the man that heads off my internet. But thank you, all those that haven't gone anywhere. You knew what to expect. You've come through a sprint qualifying, a 20-minute sprint, a 15-minute qualifying, and now you're here for the main event. 40 minutes of potentially still changing conditions as the track is just fast, not optimum. And we're going to watch 41 drivers. Yeah, you heard it right. 41 drivers barreling into turn one and then not stopping for 40 minutes unless absolutely necessary. And we've got just 12, 11, 10 seconds left to go. And Bermuda is going to lead these off.
I don't want to burst your bubble there, buddy, but I wasn't very good at maths at school. But if you look at the bottom of the leaderboard, it says 40 drivers, not 41.
Who's dropped out then? Because there was 41.
Ah.
Someone.
There is a car, number 4, G. Harvey, that is starting from the pits.
Maybe he didn't ready up. As I've just seen, was that Brown? Just weaving everywhere? These admins, you can't get the staff nowadays.
No. That's why we have to keep them in check on the big screen.
So Vermeulen, do you know, I don't sure he's particularly happy with the inside, you know. I think I'd want the outside for this track. You want to carry the speed all the way to the inner loop.
Green light, go, go, go.
As we are go, go, go. The green car gets the green light and it's go, go, go. Vermeulen, as expected, comes across, cuts off Travaglioli, takes the corner. Can he drift it wide in the head? Yes, he can. Travaglioli does seem to have a pretty good drive, though.
Yeah, I think Jazzman took a bit of curbing on the entrance to turn 1, which did invite him right up behind him, as we can see. Pushing him along.
Yeah, if the last race is anything to go by, Travaglioli, this might be his only chance. He pulls out to the outside. Vermeulen is going to defend the inside, and that is the first chance, potentially, of the evening gone. And that has now pushed him back into Grace. Grace is really...
Oh, sorry to interrupt you there, buddy. We have a big pile up on turn 2, turn 3. I see...
And we've got car 84 in the inner loop as well.
6 cars didn't make it to the inner loop.
Cablo did, but now he's damaged coming out of it. And his car looks an absolute handful. So we go forward to the battles. I think I just saw Townsend trying to fight for it. And we've got Naisbitt having to defend from the Aston Martin of Clayton, who once again making moves from the very start. Always we have Naisbitt having a bit of a snapper, and then with Aston Martin of Prentice. Does get by him as well. But what does this mean for Naisbitt? He seems to be bleeding positions.
Sorry there, buddy. We had Jabino and Van der Waal there. Jabino run really wide on the penultimate corner. I think he'd give Van der Waal a tap as he rejoined on the circuit and sent Van der Waal into the wall. Larry's going to get an absolute beating after round 2. Or race 2, sorry.
So as side by side still is Naisbitt and the Aston Martin of Prentice. Still side by side as they come down the back straight. Who's going to be last of the late breakers? It does seem to be Naisbitt for this one, but he takes a lot of curb. He's over the grass. Can he regain it? Oh my goodness, he's going to get a track limit, but he's going to keep his position for now. And the throw behind of Cooters, watching Prentice get slowed up. He just invited himself up the back of the Aston Martin, but that's invited Derrick up on his inside, and Derrick is going to make this move stick. He's going to go to the inside, but then on the inside of him, he's also got Richins, who's now going to find himself outside for the toe. There you go, side by side. Can Cooters...
Oh, as we happened to Grafe? All on the grass there.
And Grafe has been left behind there. As we've got Richings turning in. So Grafe in his Ford. A bit battered now. He's down behind the Lamborghini of Prentice. Now go forward to Jabino, who's up in P12. He's still on the back of his rival for this race, Chumakov's, with Hanley, who's just got a little bit of a gap between them. But he has a pro driver of Clayton closing this down as well. Clayton is going to nip to the inside. He's going to look for a late braking move on Jabino, but he doesn't see it worth it there.
Oh, just behind. I thought Derrick was going to go for a dive on Prentice into turn one there.
So Jabino's line out of turn two doesn't seem the best. Clayton is looking to pounce. He's already looked to the outside. The speed of that Aston Martin is absolutely insane. But now he's allowed Vanderbilt. Is that Vanderbilt's hit? Vanderbilt's going to have to go across the grass.
Oh, just in front. Who's that? Oh, Scenes.
Chumakov's.
And Karuna.
Has Handley escapes all of that. Vanderbilt, I don't think's come out unscathed either. Now Clayton on the back of Naisbitt with the Aston Martin of Prentice in tow as well. So two Aston Martins through the middle sector side by side as they're going to come towards the heel. But Clayton looks a bad way, and that's going to allow Derrick around his outside. Clayton really ailing now. The man who did so great in the first race, now damaged early on. Not just damaged his car, but damaged his chances.
For Gedman there, just on the exit of the outer loop. Right down the bottom of the order there, unfortunately. Gedman there, unfortunately.
So Tragioli, let's give him some props. He stayed within a second of Vermeulen.
Sorry there, buddy. We had G. Brown on the exit of the final corner, diving into the pits. He smashed the wall harder than anything I've ever seen.
So we've got 2 by 2 going into the first turn with Prentice following it all. And as they hit the brakes mid-corner to stay out the back of Kalugin, this has invited Grafe up the back of him. He's going to have much more speed as he comes up the hill. As we have Porsches and everything.
Just as well, we do have a good battle there. Cooters, Richings, Filomeno, Townsend, Serpentine, Vanderwall. This big fight for P12.
So Richings, as ever, a great leader of a train.
So then just in front as well, we do have Derrick still trying to chase down Prentice in that very bright green Aston Martin.
So all these cars settling into a rhythm now as we have another car returns to pits. So on board with Filomeno. Will he make a move down the inside of Townsend? He thinks about it. Will Townsend keep it tidy on the exit? He does. What does this mean for Serpentine? Something that looks to the outside, can't do anything there. But then as this invited Vanderbilt up his inside. Momentarily it did, but then Serpentine wisely uses the outer part of the track. Oh, Serpentine has hit Filomeno and carries on. He's going to try and go to the inside of Vanderbilt to try and keep his race alive. So the BMW of Filomeno ailing in the background now. wasn't too big of a hit, so he should be able to continue if he can right his car. As that is Brown coming out the pits. Essentially a lap down.
Very tight there. Sorry, buddy. We had Haymans and Malotti very close into the inner loop. I say Malotti done very well to get his car stopped without hitting Haymans there. Haymans got a massive bit of breathing room there.
Now, this battle continues with the Aston Martin versus the McLaren in P9 and 10. Prentice not letting go of Naisbitt, and he's got De Rick in tow. Gabino desperately, with a bit of clean air ahead of him, going to try and catch Hanley. Only a tenth at a time coming down for him so far. Fairly early, credit to him. I can see that time at the top. He is just taking a tenth or so out of Vermeulen. Now I've gone down to Prentice in the Lamborghini. He's made the Ford of Grafe go defensive. That might have just been going around Brown though. As he's joined a big train here, so it's going to be quite difficult to make the overtake. But a little bit further back, I see a Bentley under pressure from Shumakov, not Shumakov's, from... Who is that? I think it's a lap car maybe. So back on board with Prentice. He's got Grafe in his sights. Grafe goes marginally defensive to the middle of the track. Grafe onto the marbles. Prentice onto the marbles, gets the inside of Grafe, turns in. And that Lamborghini, I've always said it, on the nose, it's the best car in the game. Gets the car turned and gets away. Now, the top line speed of the Lamborghini isn't the best, where we know the Ford is one of the better ones. So with a compromised exit, this is going to allow Grafe straight back at him. Goes to wide line, puts his foot down, gets the power down. And this could be almost a formality as he entered the inner loop. It is. He gets just ahead and says thank you back very much. And Cooters.
I'm not quite sure what happened there, but so we're just watching a little bit of Jazzman and Travaglioli there navigate a bit of lapping traffic. Both drivers hit the wall as Jazzman went past, so quite luckily let him and Travaglioli through. So he has caught up a little bit from that lap traffic, so now just under 7/10.
No, I reckon this will be close when we go across the line. And he's now picked up the slipstream, definitely as Travaglioli, so yeah, half a tenth. Half a second even. Now with this slipstream, this is where it will really show. Up the hill and down the back straight. But looks like Vermeulen has got his car set up well. Malotti going off track in the pursuit of Haymans. And he's getting that gap closed nicely. But back to Prentice and Naisbitt. Battle for P9 with De Rick in tow. Doesn't like Naisbitt has agreed too much for the curbing there. This is the best opportunity for Prentice in the Aston. But he does have to be mindful of De Rick. He could really foil his plans here. Especially if he wants to go to the outside. Yeah, he gets sent to the outside. But De Rick chooses that way as well. He doesn't want to get blocked by Naisbitt as he comes through this section. And I definitely say that at this point De Rick is probably Prentice's bigger priority here, with Richings catching fast as well. Further down we've got Klugin chasing Robert. This is for P4 in the AM tier. Almost identical Porsches. And just picks up Cablo very, very close on the back of Brown, who's, as we know, been suffering and had to be in the pits early on in the race. Back to Prentice and Lamborghini. He's close on Grave, who's close on Kalugin, and there's a battle all the way up to P16 here with a waning Vanderwall, who's been in the wars this evening. So, Hugh Robert and Vanderwall, as we see Cablo who banged the wall in the background. Porsche second to none in this game for traction. What does this mean as he heads up the hill towards the back straight? Two Porsches in hot pursuit of the McLaren of Vanderwall. Will they choose a side each? Will they all elect to go to the inside? The inside has been chosen for Q Robert. Can he get it stopped in time? No, it looks like he had almost having to defend more to the Porsche behind him than attack McLaren. But then Vanderwall has gone marginally wide, but he uses that to his advantage by slingshotting out the exit.
So did miss the overtake from Malotti and Haymans there.
Oh, as Malotti gets a bit of a snap out of the heel. This is inviting Haymans back into it. You can see their competition just ahead. That's Eden, the current leader of the Silver Tier, in sight and being held up by Grace. Now back down to this battle of the Porsches. Vanderwall's got himself a little bit of breathing room now, but this train is enormous at this point. And he's trying to catch Townsend to make it that little bit longer.
We've got Cooters and Richings down into turn one, side by side, I believe. Oh no, that's a lapping car there, ignore me.
Cooters is chasing Richings and he is doing well to stay in the slipstream as they go through the S's.
Slightly further back we've got Grafe and Prentice, Mustang versus Lamborghini once again. DRS of that Mustang proving absolute wonders already.
There's so much slipstream ahead as well. These Porsches of Kalugin and Robert running the show at the moment, and oh, that's Kalugin going very deep. And then Grave has to avoid behind.
Prentice.
Prentice has got his nose alongside, but he's on the outside for the boot. Now, how's your brakes into tow? So Grave is getting ahead with a superior top speed, but the Lamborghini's great drive through tow. And back to the Porsches ahead. Oh, as we go onto Kalugin, and he spears it into the wall just before he was about to leave the boot. Richings chasing down Derrick, but at a very respectable distance. Cooters has now joined this.
Slightly further ahead as well, we do have Malotti a lot closer to Eden. So Haymans has slightly dropped off a little bit, but Haymans wants Malotti to attack Eden, so he could possibly slow him down a little bit so he can catch up and take the win for his class.
So the only real accessible positions for these guys at the moment is P3. The top two have checked out a long time ago. But this is exactly what Haymans wanted if there had to be a scenario where he was behind Malotti. He wants the opportunity to attack Eden. He just picks up Cooters, who entering the boot was very close to the back of Richings. Maybe didn't get quite the drive out of the outer loop that he wanted. But this battle The P3 is compressing and compressing as Grace falls further and further back into Eden. Pressure is high as a fever pitch. All cars now in this battle between a second and a half. So Malotti right on the back of Eden now. He had a much better exit out of turn 1. Pick up the slipstream, but now that Ford gets to unleash the taps that it has. And the slipstream from the BMW ahead. But Malotti says, matter not, I'm going to try it all the same. As he continues his chase. So far it seems that Malotti's best sector against Eden is in the final sector where he really can draw up. Just great lines, superior lines everywhere for Malotti at the moment, as this battle is really affecting their even slight chance of going after the lead later on. But now, with Prentice dropping slightly off Naisbitt, De Rick now feels very confident going after Prentice in the Aston Martin. And Richings, as ever, maintains this train that's a little bit more spread out now, but it was big early on. As De Rick now starting to throw some shapes at Prentice. There was a wide line going around turn 9.
Yeah, I think De Rick has a big lift there to avoid running in the back of Prentice there.
So this is the move that's on as we enter lap 11. Looks like Prentice has gone defensive to the inside. Cuts back towards the line. Oh, that's a bit... He recovered the wide line.
Bit cheeky, if you ask me.
But now what can De Rick do here? Did he recover his speed well enough? After that slightly naughty braking move there from Prentice. Back underneath his gearbox. And Malotti has got this gap down to 0.3 to Eden in P4. Just got to really, really impress on the issue. Just seems to be a fair bit better on the brakes at the moment, does Malotti. And then we've got Prentice back on Naisbitt, but that has just meant that De Rick has been brought into it as well, because Prentice ultimately got slowed down by Naisbitt. Now De Rick is ahead. It's been a long time coming, that move, but his patience has paid off. Now can he quickly dispatch Naisbitt, or is going to get caught back under the spell of Prentice in the Aston Martin?
Well, I think he fends him off there just to stop the move from reversing itself.
Now Malotti's got an incredible drive out the first turn. A lot of commitment. He did get a bit snaky on the curb on the way out, but his drive towards the Ford was mighty. But down the straight, even slipstream, that Ford is just too much.
Yeah, sorry about it. I think Naisbitt had a bit of a moment there, took too much curb on the exit of turn 1. De Rick is all up behind the rear wing. Can he make a move down the straight, or is he going to sit behind him and wait
Naisbitt
for a pounce?
goes defensive. Always tricking the outside to overtake into this corner, so Naisbitt has played that one well.
I think gets a little bit too much curb there.
So this fight and Naisbitt's speed is bringing extra cars in all the way down to Cooters. I think this move is primed and ready. As Richings taking an alternate line there. Oh, as his wide line on entry is now putting up the inside of Prentice. What can he do as he enters the heel? Prentice has gone defensive to the middle of the track. Oh, as they touch! Oh, and then he runs into the Rick! Oh, no! Disaster. Richings had ambitions and he just overplayed them. I think
it's
what
like
happened...
he jerked the steering whilst on the braking.
Yeah, I think he wanted to open the corner back up, but Prentice did not. Now Prentice has returned to the pits. Such a shame. We were very much enjoying that battle. As Eden now massively catching Grace down the back straight. Grace had to go hugely defensive. Malotti every single time that Eden catches onto Grace, backs him up, and then Malotti's right there to find him again. As Malotti really testing the track limits around turn 5. Now with Eden having to go defensive, that's dropped him back from Grace a little bit into the hands of Malotti.
So Haymans has now come into tow as well.
Heyman tucks back in behind. Malotti really starting to fancy his chances. Not quite sure what's happened to Kalugin, but or Vandervoort. So Kalugin has made that move and made it stick. Would have fell on Menno chasing down Visser. A few blue flag shenanigans in the background. Velotti still on Eden. Both Malotti and Haymans using maximum track on the turn 1 exit curb. But slipstream and good exits is not enough to fight forward. Or at least it seems so far tonight. Now Couters has found himself in a peculiar scenario where the 3 drivers in between him and Naisbitt have all just disappeared, and now he's got Naisbitt all to himself to fight and to get ahead when the opportunity presents itself. And Grafe chasing down Prentice in the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini in recent weeks and months, the Mustang even, sorry, in recent weeks and months has become a real titan. A lot of drivers flocking to it for league racing, and its stability seems to be improved, and it's always had the grunt. Now Robert super close to the back of Townsend P14. He's elected for an outside line. Would he look for a switchback? No, just follows him through for now. And Prentice and Grafe now a present threat. And Prentice goes defensive. Stave off Grafe. Malotti still can't get past Eden. I feel his pain. This will be incredibly frustrating. A lot of attention goes into this when you can't see your braking zones, can't see your apexes, because you're following car nose to tail. Jubinho close, but not quite close enough to think about an overtake for the race win in the Amateur just yet. So we've got Prentice being pressured Prentice, yeah, being pressured by the Ford of Grafe in P17.
Oh, sorry, buddy. We've got Handley and Jabino there. Just missed it as a camera pan, but Jabino has finally got past Handley there for P7.
Not just P7, but P1 in the AM2.
That's what I was going to get to next, buddy. So he has just taken the lead in his class there. Now, would you see him do that in the Lamborghini?
I would be much higher up in the Lamborghini.
Slightly further down, I do see Q Robert trying to chase down Townsend. And there's a lapped car in the middle there, but we've got Grafe and Harvey, P17, P18, battle of the pros down the grid, giving it absolutely everything.
There's a bit of dust from. Oh, as that's a Lamborghini ahead. That was Prentice overtaking.
I think that is a lapped car in the middle of that Ferrari. That Ferrari is Visser, who's P22, 2 laps down.
So go forward to Handley, who's going around the outside of Jabino into the inner loop. Jabino having absolutely none of it, but he then does drift around the second part. That allows Handley a great bit of drive, but not enough track to get up the inside and to get a nose ahead for the outer loop. Now go forward to Eden.
Just about moving to the front, yeah, buddy. I think Malotti had a great drive, but Eden covering off the inside with DRS of the Mustang there.
So Malotti's not going to get many other opportunities quite like this. He's only got 10 minutes remaining. He needs to do something now if he wants that P4. It should be pretty easy P4 if he can get past him, because when he does that, he'll push Eden back into Haymans and they will scrap it out for the silver tier win. We've got Q Robert side by side with a Lamborghini of Prentice. This fight for P4 still wages on. What was a catch? Prentice going quite close to the wall, and now this train is as close as I've seen it. P14, look how many cars you can see just in that one image, and Prentice is responsible for all of them getting through.
I think Malotti's starting to throw a few shapes at Eden there. He did show his nose on the inside, but Eden is fending him off lovely there.
Malotti coming back. He's got his nose up the inside this time. Will the grunt again save Eden? It does. Oh, as Haymans had a little look down the inside of Malotti there.
Oh, once again, got Jabino and Handley switching places there. I think Jabino gets a good drive out of the corner there.
As we come to with only about 4 laps remaining. It's really hotting up. There are some battles on here which could go to the absolute flag. We're on board with Q Robert. We can see him attacking Townsend with all his might. Just further back. The lap car, or lead car of the rear. So
I
back
think
up
Hanley got a bit of too much of a speed boost there on the back of Jabino. I think he's given a little love taps to remind him that he's still there, but say both drivers still going down the straight through the loop. Hanley getting a bit of a curb action there.
So this is a really intense battle for the lead of the silver tier. So good for them that they found their competitors amongst this huge grid and they can fight it out.
So once again, slightly further down, you've got Q Robert Townsend still going at it.
Thank you, Robert. A not so happy bystander. It's the gap that's been created ahead of Townsend. He wants to go after Prentice. Townsend putting a masterclass of defence on. He's held this position for a very, very long time under great demand. So Eden now very, very close on the back of Grace, which is going to reduce opportunities for those behind. Grace doing very, very well to keep his head down, get these times rolling in, even without the incentive of a battle. It will truly pay dividends in about 5 minutes.
Trying to look round the outside. Sorry, Hanley looking right, switching to the inside. He's going to get enough in the braking zone. Into the inner loop. He's on the inside now. Great move from Hanley there. Is Jabino still there? He's giving. Oh, great. Oh, he's over the grass.
Oh,
great
he
bit of
just
drive
misses
for Jabino
him.
there.
So Jabino lives for another day. And we go back to Cooters, P10, who's still got Naser ahead of him, and the gap to that battle we were just on is about 10 seconds. So this isn't really going to progress any further than this P9 position, but points are points. You've got to be in it to win it. So Malotti not content with letting Eden push on, try to overtake Grace. He's very much going to have to just put up with the defensive display from Eden and take just a lazy opportunity when it presents itself. There we go, it's Malotti as close as he's been up this hill. Got Eden going defensive. Wouldn't call that confrontational. To Grace ahead.
I think that was just a McLaren of Dreadlock Steve there. Just trying to get out of the way. Car 134, I believe that's Mr. Brown as well.
So this battle for P3 super hot right now. Milotti getting quite frustrated now. He's not really paying that much attention to his lines. He's off exploring, trying to find new ways to get past Eden, including using all the curb on the exit turn 9. There's Milotti sizing him up. There was a momentary move to the inside. Spots his braking, carries the speed through. Back to Cooters, who's still on Naisbit in this 4-car battle. 4P9, big points on offer if one of these 4 drivers can finish at the front of this train. As that's a Ferrari on Ferrari. Oh no, that's Serpentine and Cooters colliding. Disaster. So that has freed up Naisbit to some degree. He continues to run around by himself for a while now.
Oh, sorry, buddy. We got Malotti going for a dive on Eden. I think he might have forced him out. Oh no, Malotti, big snap. Oof.
Oof. Now we've all gone off there in the past. I didn't expect a man of Malotti's capabilities to be losing it there. Now Grace also has breathing room. As Eden has also been knocked back in that collision. Malotti just seems to be in one piece. And now it's not a time to rest. He's got Jabinho only a corner away. And he's pushing with that BMW behind him. There are battles on track, but we are starting to have a few drop out as the racing hots up. Richings on Cooter. I think we can see that Richings really wants this. He's pushing super hard. Raising the wall as he went by. Heyman's trying to get Eden still. Eden being quite frustrated that he lost the time that he built down. He managed to get down with Grace.
We do have Jazzman coming around the final corner. I think that's going to be final lap. Oh, finished.
That's him done. Just before the rain, just as the rain got announced. So well done, Jazzman. He has won again. Travioli has put in a very strong performance. Almost had a chance to get Vermeulen. Grace calmly managing his gap to those behind. He's got a few more corners to navigate to keep the Wolves from his door and secure this podium away from the silver tier drivers. BMW looks strong today, as did the Mustang. Power has played its part in this evening's event as lapping traffic ahead just gets in the way, but not enough to stop these drivers coming across the line for a win. Malotti, who was so much in this battle before, we didn't quite catch it on the stream to see what really happened. We just got tapped as they came round. And then Hanley is going to come home for a AM tier win, as well as Eden with a silver tier win by Naisbit, who's did a great job for the most part in this battle with DeRick and those behind. And does just beat DeRick home. And Serpentine also doing a great job keeping Cooters behind. Then all these drivers coming home in formation. Prentice, great job early on to get past that Aston Martin, and then great job to hold on to it as long as she did. And then we have Q Robert, who's actually P2 in tier, down in P15. We've got Grafe and Kalugin. We've got Kalugin in P3 in the AM tier by Townsend. Jazzman with a dab again. Van der Waal, really big accident early on. Great recovery drive as he finally puts the finishing touches to his broken masterpiece. And Jabino dives out of the pits for whatever reason for a celebratory lap. This is just to humour everybody else. Obviously, Jabino, I think he still doesn't look quite fixed, does he? But he's
Well,
going to get.
define not fix there, buddy. I mean, you're going to fix him by putting him back in the Lamborghini, or
I mean, it's not quite fixed the way his car was handling, and now it's broken down and it stopped. So I think that's a clear sign you should go back to the Lamborghini. Uh, so the Pro Tier, rounding off the things at the top there. That's 1, 2, and 3 for the Pro Tier, with Eden taking a P4 and a win for the Silver Tier, followed by Heymans, followed by Derrick. We've already been over your AM Tier drivers. And then we actually went down the whole grid as well. So thank you everyone so much for joining us this evening. If you'd have seen that message, Jazzman is going to join us in the chat in just a moment whilst we're waiting for him. Obviously, as ever, do like, share and subscribe to the channel. It's all very much appreciated. We love having you come along for the ride when you drop your comments and drop your likes, showing your support for not just us, the commentators in the stream, but also for the individual drivers that turn up as well, and for you cheeky drivers that somehow manage to drive and comment on the stream. Let's not get you pulled over by a handlebar moustache policeman.
the constabulary.
The constabulary. PC plod.
I mean, I was going to say another Top Gear reference, but I don't want to get cancelled just in case. Crikey, it's the FRL Rozzers. But I changed it just for streaming purposes. But the baby Jesus.
And our multiple-time winner, Jazzman, joins us in the chat. So yeah, 2 dominant races. With the second one, maybe a bit tighter. So I think for you, talk us through qualifying first, because it was a bit of a special one, especially that sprint qualifying.
Yeah. There's somebody crashed, and then he was just chilling on the apex of the final corner. so I was, so I had to go around him. So I was quite pleased that I still got on pole by just that much, because track position here is king. So, and especially, having a wet race as well, it helped.
Yeah, I mean, you were just in a completely different class in that wet race. I do apologise. My internet let out when covering the first half a lap. I had to rejoin. I think I caught you like midway through the first lap, but you seem to have it all in control in that regard. As we have Gogs come joining as well. You seem to have an interesting one as well. Probably a bit more interesting than Jazzman's, who was more of a technical exercise than a sporting exercise. But yeah, so how concerned were you with I've lost his name now.
The Ferrari guy.
Yeah, he was really putting you under pressure the second race.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was just, I saw that he had good pace. He really did have some strong pace there. And I was just trying to keep the gap at like 0.6, 0.8, and just try not make any mistakes. And then eventually, I think it took me 18 minutes to break the slipstream. And then once I was able to do that, I think then he started to push a bit more to try and get back in, and then he made a couple of mistakes, and then I just built that gap till about 8 seconds to the end. So it was close. Those first 18, 20 minutes, I had to look in my mirror and make sure, I left a bit of margin not to make a mistake. So yeah, it was good fun. It was nice those first 20 minutes.
So in the second race, we did catch him maybe having a chance to get by you on the back straight early on, but you covered that one off well. Was it? Did we catch a less preferable turn one? Would you say for that one? You maybe got a bit of curb.
Yes. I took too much curb. I didn't just because of the wet race previously, so I turned in a bit early, and then he had a good run, but not good enough because we're in the same car. So I was able to keep the inside for the hairpin, and then that keeps me. You're not going to go around the outside of somebody there. But he did, he forced me to brake as late as I could to get in there, and I nearly nearly made the mistake of running too deep. So it was a close one. And then, like I said, he had really good pace, man. This first 18, 20 minutes, it was, like I said, it was good fun. And then, yeah, I won't lie, I was pretty happy to shake him off, get away from me, let me just drive. And so I was very pleased with race 2. And yeah, race 1, I just think I had a wet setup and nobody else did, because my pace advantage was over like a second a lap.
Yeah, it was kind of insane. I mean, excuse us for not covering you too much in that one.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it was just me. Yeah, I realized after the first lap, I was like, okay, clearly I'm the only one with the wet setup here. And then I just, yeah, it was just simple. Yeah, it was just keep it on track and just be consistent.
So we go to Gogs. Talk us through your one, because you were right in the thick of it.
Hi everyone, congrats Jazz. Another masterclass clinic put on for everybody else to watch.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How was my race? Oh wow, okay. So I don't know what you caught on the stream, because race 1 nobody could see anything behind Jazz. I'm sure you had a great view.
Very clear, yeah.
Yes, it was very, very wet. I actually went side by side through the bus stop with Sam Grafe without zero contact, which is incredible.
I think we did catch that. I think we did.
All I heard was everyone else shouting in my voice chat. People were crashing everywhere. It was like, I don't know if you've seen that meme. It's the plane just flying away and explosions in the background. That's what I felt like. It was just burning around me, basically. So I don't know how I managed to avoid everybody in that race. I think a couple of cars made a couple of moves on me. The car wasn't the fastest, but I just wanted to keep it moving in the right direction. Hymans, I think Jobino both found their way through quite, let's say, strongly against me, but I mean, I'm not going to kick a fuss up about it. But I'll look back on it.
Yeah, just to interrupt you there, buddy, we did have Jobino disconnect in race 2, and he was P1 in class when he disconnected.
Yeah, I just got that on Discord. Yeah, it was devastated for him, because I'm sure I don't know if you noticed in race 2, I was limping around the track for the last 6 minutes, and I had the meatball flag, and I had to pull in the pits in the last lap, so I wouldn't get disqualified. And then I just see Jobino appear in front of me on the right hand side of my screen, so I know he's just been disconnected. Absolute heartbreak for him. Especially, I think his pace was incredible as well today.
He was trading the lead for a good amount in race 2. So yeah, it was.
Yeah, amazing stuff. I mean, some of these AM drivers, I think their pace needs to be looked at for next season. Jobino, Handley, who else is up there today? Kalugan. They're all on that cusp.
I think to be fair, I mean, fair play to all you guys, obviously working hard behind the scenes to make the tiers. But I mean, Heymans, what an absolute wonder tonight, all the way up where he was for silver tier when he was basically fighting a pro driver.
Yeah, I have it on good authority. Heymans has updated his equipment very recently and been putting time in. So I think he's obviously found the groove with that now. Found a couple of tenths a lap. So take nothing away from him. He's the one controlling the new equipment, so he's done well. Same with, I think it's, you see it every week in the pace of surfing time. Some of the other AM guys, well, surfing time's not AM anymore. He's silver now. He was AM last season. There always is a line with these tiers that you need to draw a line and just say, right, that's the line. This 14's silver, this 14's AM, and that line between silver and AM, and again between pro and silver as well, is very, very blurry. I have a look at the tracker with the full results. I'm currently showing it as a silver driver for next season. I keep finishing at the bottom with this Honda, but we'll see how it goes with that one. I've got a couple of races left to smash the Honda into the wall a couple more times. So,
but that's the thing. When judging these things, it's always a snapshot of that particular moment. As you said, drivers get new equipment, they put in more practice. Maybe they spend some time away from the game and go backwards. It's such a hard job placing those drivers, but the fact that they're all on track, all in this big mixing pot for the overall championship is what keeps us entertained every Sunday evening. And yeah, it's great to see them. There were definitely some preferable cars out there this evening.
Ferrari.
The Ferrari.
Ferrari. Well, I mean, the when I saw the BOP, because the Ferrari is, I think, yeah, it's about the best car there, that and the Ford. And then when I got into the server, I was like 0 kilos, my lucky day. I was like, thanks for that.
And the Mustang was quite strong this evening. Not necessarily on outright pace, but there was no overtaking it on the straight, from what I could see.
No, you can't overtake that thing. I got stuck behind one. One of my friends was driving it a couple of weeks ago, and I was just stuck behind him. I'd be right up his gearbox, and then it's just bye down the main straight.
Well, you heard it first, folks. Jazzman was stuck behind someone whilst racing. He's not all alien. He is a little bit human.
Just needs a yank tank to be placed in front of him, and then
The old
the
freedom
equilibrium is found again.
Yeah, you're right, Gogs. The freedom machine has just got too much freedom. No one can pass.
Yeah.
It's just so big it makes its own DRS. That's the problem.
Yeah, there must be something going on there for its straight line speed, man. That thing's ridiculous.
But yeah, it was a funny old evening, more so at the start with the qualifying race one. Can only imagine there's going to be a few words spoken about the situation in the penultimate turn in qualifying one, because it was, albeit a bit of a disaster.
Yep, I'm patiently awaiting the footage re-uploading uploaded so I can have a look at it.
It was on the stream.
Yeah.
We caught quite a lot of it on the stream. So there you go.
I'm going to go watch it. See you there, guys. Now listen, guys, I'm going to quickly jump off. Thank you again very much for jumping on. Again, congrats, Jazz.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Well done today. Yeah.
Well, I'll take that. You're just being polite, I know.
I don't know. I know in race 2 I lapped you, so I was like, the man is struggling, but I didn't see in race 1.
Just
1
throwing
minute
that on the stream,
yeah.
Jazzman
1
going, what's the
minute.
weather like down there?
Yeah, catching strays. 1 minute 30 of damage. We'll do that.
Yeah. That can ruin a man's evening. Especially
I refuse to
right?
pit. I absolutely refuse to pit a second time.
Did you refuse? You're like, I'll just drive.
I pitted once, and then I thought I'll stay out the second time, and then I crashed a third time, which gave me the meatball flag, which then I got 3 laps. And luckily I managed to just sit in the pit lane until you crossed the line, and then just crossed over myself to make sure I got the checkered flag. Listen.
All right.
Yeah, but it was tough tonight, I'm not going to lie. That Honda did not like this track. Yeah, thanks again, guys. I'm going to nip off. I'll let you round off the stream. Thanks again.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, I'll go too. Thanks for streaming, and I'll see you guys next week. Keep well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye. So confident he's going to be happy and chipper next week, isn't he? So there you have it, guys, from an admin and a winner. How great, obviously, this evening was. Obviously, you saw a few incidents, but you know what? That's racing. We come here, we try hard, we go home, we cry, we come back next week. So yeah, hope you enjoyed FRL's round 4 of season 16 of the Super Sprint Sunday. Obviously, like we said, like and subscribe to the channel. There's so much more to this league to be enjoyed, for whether it's in the cockpit or it's just watching YouTube. So yeah, come and join along with us, and we'll see you all on the next one. Good evening. Goodbye.